Hello everyone. This is a big upgrade barn tour. There's been lots of changes since the last one, and so I kind of just decided to just do a whole nother barn tour because the barn ultimately looks way better than it did in the first barn tour. So yeah, there needed to be an updated tour. So of course we still have the sign, basically where you know to enter. You know, it just says Legacy Saddleseat, lessons showing you boarding, and then you just have one of my schleich courses, which is just supposed to be a statue just in between two flower pots and a mailbox. But first, I'll do an overview. So we have just that over there, a paddock right here, the tack room, the barn, another paddock, main barn, arena, and another paddock. Coming off over here in this paddock, this is all just stallions and geldings. Just have this basic fence. So this is Yuletide's breeding, or Yuletide. He is Clydesdale gelding. Beside him is Arctic. He's also a stallion, not a gelding. This is Steel. He's a Grula, however you say it. Paint horse stallion. And then back here we have Lakota, or big old Dakota, and he's gelded. And beside them is just this paddock. It's pretty simple. It's just to make more room. Start over here. This is little Annabelle. She's just a calf. And beside her is American Quarter Horse mare Jolene. She's just being very protective of the baby. Next to them two is the other American Quarter Horse mare, Kendall. Across from her is OTTB mare Protocol, and she's just walking beside Native Son, her son, and he's just an oddball because they're all mares and he's not. So I'll just get the paddocks all the way. Yeah, it's the arena. It's not even being used. Over here, these are just my sister's horses. Some of the ones she has. She doesn't use them very often. This is Tis the Law. He's a thoroughbred. Behind him is American Quarter Horse Stallion, I think. Checkers. And over here is Big Checks to Cash, and I think he's an American Quarter Horse too. So coming back over here, we have the feed and tack room. I just made this today, so and I love it. So when you come in, you just have two bridle racks in here. They just have one western bridle, the other one's being used. Right here is the feeding schedules, like all the horses' names, and I don't know why it's not focusing. There it goes. And like what feed they get and what time. Of course the time is all the same. I think that's really cute against that wall. I don't know why my phone is having a hard time focusing. It usually doesn't do this. Over here we just have a cat and the owner, Zachary. He's getting a scoop of feed because it is feeding time. And that's just like shavings or whatever from little firework things that I have. Yeah, one bucket of apples and hay, and then just a feed mix in that bucket. And then I'm so winded. Then there's going blank, just racks for spare buckets to hang on. And over here in this corner, if I can get it past Austin, there's just hay bales sitting in the corner. And then on this wall we have the saddle rack. Whew. A new saddle will go right there, and there's just two western saddles right here. And I apologize for the heavy breathing. I'm like, I struggle to breathe. Then they just have a spare trough just with trophies sitting on it, and it's kind of crooked, so I'll just fix them a little. And then we have Austin, who is putting one of the western saddles back on the rack. And next to him, well, next to this room, is just a room and stuff to muck out stalls and barrels and a little jump. And next to that is Battlefield Angel or Angel. He's a Frisian stallion. He's getting his first lesson for the week. And Heather is going to be doing that lesson on him. And her friend Emily is just holding Angel still. Then these are the ladders over here just to kind of get up here. And last time there's crap all up here. Right now there's barely anything and it just looks way nicer. This was the main barn, but it's really not anymore. And of course, if you saw the last video, there's just this poster with the name of shows on it. And underneath it is just feeding bags for when the horses are like getting their hooves picked, or like their moody horses getting their hooves picked. This can kind of keep them occupied. And then there is Coco. She's being an evil little cat and guarding them. Then up here is just spare smaller saddles that I typically don't use on my big horses because they don't fit, but I have like strings and just leather ropes around them, so they do fit, so I can just like tie them to the other side of the girth. So in our main stall right here is still the same boys in both these stalls. Of course, there's a sign warning you that this boy is feisty, and his halter and lead rope is outside of his door. And inside it, if he doesn't get pushed over the stall, this is Washington. He's Appaloosa stallion, a blue Appaloosa. And then his neighbor, he has a sign that says not to feed him anything, like you shouldn't, because he's on a special diet, and his lead rope is outside of it. He doesn't have his own particular horse. But in here is Mr. Will Shriver, or Will, if I can get a good angle of him. He's in the corner back there. It's sad because he's not getting ridden. Outside his stall is Mr. Cheetos. He's accompanying Mr. Will, and there's just a spare grooming kit. Over here on this wall is my crappier bridles that I dislike. That's why my nicer ones got moved over here. But yeah, they're just hanging right here. Oh yeah, and Binks is over there. I forget her name. I really don't remember her name, but yeah, she's just a cat up here. Back there is Cleo, and then there's a spare water trough and a spare grooming kit with just extra supplies. So beside this barn is Amelia. She's the manager of the barn. I don't remember if I said Zachary was the owner. She's just giving Mr. Snowman, who is a flea bitten gray stallion, a nice face pet because he deserves it. And beside him is Duke. He's an American quarter horse stallion. No, he's not. He's Palomino. I'm getting mixed up. And unfortunately, one of my schlag horses fell off a shelf and damaged him, and I'm not happy about it. Then they just have these little feeding things outside here on the gate and a water trough right there. There's a huge hay bale with my sister's cat on it. And here's Seward, our Frisian stallion. He's just prancing along. And back here is American paint horse stallion Zeke, and he is a lesson horse. So this is my favorite barn that I recently built. It took me 2.5 days to make. It was a pain in the butt, but it was so worth it because it's so pretty. So here's just a spare Western saddle sitting on a saddle rack, and they just have Sylvie stretching beside it, and that's another saddle rack. The saddle is on her. So in this stall is Mr. Chapless. He's a warm blood gelding, I do believe. And he's just munching on some hay that is purely white. And behind him is a bucket. It doesn't have anything in it, so he's just munching on his hay. And of course, this just hooks right there. Yeah, like so on the inside, that's what it looks like. It's a very nice stall. There's wood on the inside. This is Adia. Well, her coat is a pain. I don't really remember her breed, unfortunately. But she has a bucket back here with feed in it. And she's being taken out to a lesson by Chelsea. Chelsea owns Adia and Chala, and Mark. So this whole barn is just filled with our horses. And beside that is just the box with saddle pads where the martingale goes, and just a few extra things like the spare halter. And there's Oreo. She's in the way. And so outside this horse's stall, he just has his halter and his lead rope hung up here, and a grooming kit because he's going to have a ride later on. And there's just a spare bucket with a bag of oats and a carrot. So in this stall, this is Marca Charm, one of my favorite models. He's an American saddlebred stallion. I absolutely love American saddlebreds. And he's got a bucket of oats. Oh, and yeah, they have windows where they can just peek into each other's stalls, and he has a window right here. So yeah, he's just waiting for a lesson. And here's the chicken coop. Inside it, they just have a duck and a hen. I did have a rooster, I don't know where he went. But otherwise, that is the farm tour. New and improved. Another overview of the place. So thanks for watching, and sorry if my breathing was getting insane. Like I said, I have a hard time breathing, especially moving around this, like on my knees and everything, getting up and sitting down. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this updated, new and improved barn tour, and I will see you guys later.